So guys, what is going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. Let's get straight to it. Terence Crawford has hit back at Kell Brook. So the reporter asked Terence Crawford that Kell Brook said he's going to make you quit on the stool. Terence Crawford replied back by saying that he goes, I've never quit in the fight before. I can't say the same about him. So basically, Terence Crawford is implying that Kell Brook has quit before in a fight. And I think we all know what fight he's referring to, the Errol Spence fight. When Kell Brook took a knee. You know, a lot of people have tried to make out that, you know what, because Kell Brook had the eye injury, that's not a quit. And I've debunked that. As soon as you say that I don't want to fight anymore, it's quitting. You know, in the sport of boxing. As soon as you say that I can't go on or I can't fight anymore, that's quitting. Terence Crawford's never lost, let alone quitting. If Kell Brooks beats Terence Crawford, it's not going to be quit by him quitting. And I just think that was a rude thing to say. I don't think that's a classy thing to say about another. I'm going to make him quit. That's especially when people have accused you of quitting in the past. Is that why Kell Brook's done it? Because people have accused Kell Brook after the Spence fight, got a lot of criticism. He also had to address himself being called a quitter. Remember, he said he got depressed because people were calling him a quitter. Right? And like I said before, I want to talk about that fight with Spence. There's no shame in any fighter essentially submitting in a fight. There's no shame because a lot of these fighters are a lot harder people. Kell Brook's a lot harder than any normal man walking on the street. I get he's getting paid millions to fight, but irrespective, he's a hard man, Kell Brook. Right? And most fighters are hard men that get in the ring. So there's no shame. There's no shame. But in that Spence fight, Kell Brook didn't want to fight on anymore. He had the eye injury from round 7. He continued with the injury because he had energy. The reason why he went down on he didn't have any energy anymore. He was finished. His gas tank was empty. He was fighting on reserve and he had nothing left. And that's why he basically took a knee because he couldn't go on anymore. His tank was emptied. It was nothing to do with the fact that he couldn't see. Because if his one eye was busted, his other eye could see. Right? You only need one eye. Even if one eye is not working, you can still see from the other eye. Yes, it's not ideal, but again, like I said, I've seen fighters in worse condition than that fight on. Like I told you, Margarito had an orbital bone broken when he fought Pacquiao. And we're talking Pacquiao. Everybody knows what prime Pacquiao was like. And he didn't go 12 rounds with him. And he had an orbital bone busted. And we all know Margarito I don't think fought again after that. Pacquiao beat the crap out of him. And apparently something's wrong with Margarito's eye now. Margarito's eyes isn't the same after that fight. But that's what you call, that kind of level of warrior is a kind of warrior that he doesn't care about his life. And someone like that needs to be saved. How the referee didn't stop that fight or Robert Garcia didn't throw in the towel to save Margarito is beyond me. Because Margarito would die in there, essentially. He's that brave. Even though Margarito, I'm not a big fan, we got caught cheating. But nevertheless, he, in terms of bravery, you know, what he showed against Pacquiao, I don't think you're going to get anything braver. Malignaggi also fought Miguel Cotto. He also had the same injury as Kell Brook, and he went 12 rounds with Miguel Cotto. He fought on, and Malignaggi says to his day, that's his biggest achievement, the fact that Miguel Cotto broke his orbital bone, and he still went the full distance with Miguel Cotto. So, it's happened before. People have had worse injuries than what Kell Brook had against Spence and continued. It's definitely happened before. Kell Brook, I just think it was knackered. I don't think he could do it anymore. And really, can you call that quitting when he had nothing left? Possibly, because if you've got nothing left, all that's going to happen is he's going to iron you and knock you cold. That's all that's going to happen. If I've got no energy left, all that's going to happen, he's going to put me asleep. And maybe Kell Brook didn't want to get put asleep. I don't know because I felt like the fight was going to end badly for Brook. He was going to get knocked out badly. Now, a lot of people, Spence said in the press conference that Kell Brook would have with Spence said he quit against Golovkin. I don't agree with that because the corner threw in the towel because Dominic Ingle saw that Golovkin was about to beat the brakes off of him. So, he threw in the towel, which was the right thing to do because Kell Brook at that point. The thing is, Kell Brook, the reason why he did what he did against Spence and he took a knee is because Golovkin broke him in the first fight. Golovkin bust his eye socket and broke him. And mentally that messed Kell Brook up. But I still don't think it was the injury. I still don't think it was the eye that I just think it was the fact that he had no energy left. He was finished. His stamina had gone. But in terms of Kell Brook, like I said, I don't think we can call fighters quitters. And I never ever call any fighter a quitter. Any fighter. Because trust me, even Roberto Duran essentially said he didn't want any more against Sugar Ray Leonard because he was getting embarrassed. Roberto Duran, like I said, if you look in the dictionary and look the word warrior, you'll see a picture of Roberto Duran. That's the kind of warrior Roberto Duran was. There isn't a fighter that is more of a warrior than Roberto Duran. And if that man can submit and say no mas, then any man can submit. Because like I said, Roberto Duran is probably the hardest man in boxing that we've seen in a boxing ring. He was a hard man. Right, so I don't really like it when fighters talk about quitting and have a go at one another, calling fighters quitters. And I don't even like it when you see the comments like trolls in the comments section of YouTube channels calling fighters quitters. Because trust me, right, none of us would dare say that to these guys' faces because they'll smash us to bits. Because fighters don't like being called quitters. Right, it's a sin in boxing, but. Like I said, especially when somebody's shown a lot of bravery. Kell Brook showed a lot of bravery against Golovkin. Don't get it twisted. He showed a lot of bravery. And Errol Spence saying he quit against Golovkin, that's nonsense. Because if you look at it, Dominic Ingle saved his fighter, which anyone would do, because he knew Golovkin was about to really beat down on him. He was going to finish him. And he didn't want to see Kell Brook blinded, or he didn't want to see Kell Brook flattened, And in the second fight, I think Kell Brook just ran out of gas. He just ran out of gas, and Dominic Ingle wasn't going to throw in the towel the second time because there's no way that Dominic Ingle, there's no way that Ingle was going to take that stick again, because Ingle got a lot of stick for throwing in the towel against Golovkin. I don't know why. Ingle did a great job there. He saved his fighter from getting from permanent damage. But, the bloodthirsty fans, bloodthirsty crowd, bloodthirsty fans, not appreciating what a fighter goes through, broken eye socket. And, Kell Brook went through a lot of stick after the Spence fight. And like I said, I think he was finished in terms of energy. He didn't have anything left in the tank. So how can he fight on if he has nothing left? He can't. He's finished. His breath is gone. He's got no energy. You can't fight if you've got no energy. So I think it was harsh. But at the end of the day, listen, I think within boxing, I just think that the fans are ruthless. And they don't let you, when you quit, they let you know about it. But here's the thing. I think the most important thing is that by Kell Brook saying things like that isn't going to help him in the fight, because all that's going to do is going to want to make, because you know what Crawford's going to want to do now? Crawford's going to want to make Kell Brook quit. Because Crawford's going to remember that. Because Crawford's the type of guy, when you say something to him, he gets motivated and he gets really like, all right, okay, I'll show this guy. And let's be real, he's got the better skills in this fight. For me, he's the more skillful guy. Now, a lot of Brooks fans keep coming and saying Brook is not more skillful than Terence Crawford. He's not. Crawford's got more tools in his arsenal. And Crawford, by motivating him, all you're doing is waking up the lion. And you don't do that because everybody's looking at this fight. This could be another one of those fights like where Crawford overlooks Brook. But by Brook giving him motivation, by Brook saying all these things, that's only going to motivate Crawford to say, okay, I'll show this guy. He talks about making me quit on the stool. I'll do it to him. And that's what's going to motivate Crawford. And I think he's going to try to do that. Now, maybe Kell Brook's doing that so Crawford comes out and fights it. Maybe it's a strategy. Maybe Kell Brook wants Crawford to come out and be aggressive so he can land his shots. And he thinks the only way I'm going to be able to beat Crawford is if Crawford comes and has a fight with me. Maybe it's a strategy. Who knows? Trying to draw Crawford in, which may be the right thing. It may be getting under his skin. It may be getting Crawford out of the zone. But Max Kellerman once said something about Crawford, that Crawford's the type of guy that when you get under Crawford's skin, it benefits him. Right? It benefits him. It motivates him. Right? For example, when you look at someone like Khan, for example, by getting under his skin is detrimental for himself, because if he comes there and fights aggressive, we all know what could happen to him. He could get clipped. Whereas Crawford, on the other hand, he fights even better when you motivate, because he's got so many more tools in the box. He's so more gift. He's got so much natural gift that he just it kind of motivates him that, okay, I want to come out there and I want to show you. I want to prove to you I'm better than you. I'm a much better fighter. I'm more skillful. It kind of motivates Terence Crawford. So when you have a dig at Terence Crawford, it benefits him. Certain fighters, it damages their chances, because when they come out and fight, they may have dodgy chins or they may have other weaknesses which will get exploited as them fighting aggressive. With Crawford, I don't think it will. Crawford's he relishes anything. He can fight, like I said, he can fight backwards, he can fight forwards, he can fight aggressive, he can fight defensive, he can slick. He's got a lot of tools that he can do. If he thinks Kell Brook's a big puncher and Kell Brook's dangerous, he's going to start fighting, he's going to become slick. And he's going to start fighting like a slick fighter. And a lot of you saying Crawford's not a slick fighter, go watch his fights. Go watch his fights, because Crawford's very slick. You know, he's very, when he wants to, he's very hard to hit. When he wants to, he can move out. He's very good with his feet. He's very fast. He's a lot faster than Kell Brook. And like I said, I just don't like the comments about either fighter. I didn't even like the fact that Crawford responded to Brook. But the fact that Crawford said that Kell Brook's quit before, to me, I didn't like that either. I just don't think you should be bringing things like that up, to be honest. I think it's disrespectful, because you don't know as a fighter when you may find yourself in that position, right? But the thing is with Kell Brook, firstly, Kell Brook shouldn't have said that to him. But secondly, I think Terence Crawford was responding back to Brook. But I just don't like it when fighters talk about quitting. I just don't think it's I just don't think it's a good look, to be honest, because you don't know as a fighter when you might find yourself in that position. Do you understand? Because when you get inside that ring, anything can happen. Anything can happen inside a boxing ring, right? So I don't think one should be talking about another fighter should be talking about another fighter quitting, because if you ever get put in that position, you don't know how you're going to react, you know? So let's see what happens, guys. Leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think about Terence Crawford's comments. Did you think he bit back at Kell Brook? Do you think he was angry about the fact that Kell Brook said he was going to make him quit? And what did you make about him saying that, you know, I can't say the same about Kell Brook not quitting before? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. And guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.